Welcome to Of Men, For Men. Here we'll discuss issues pertaining to the modern day man. Subjects like health, wealth, lifestyle, gear, and relationships. So join me as we dive into the world of men for men. Well, hello and welcome to the Of Men for Men podcast. I am your host, James Rodney Lehman. Yeah, come on in. Kick back, relax. Grab yourself a cool one. All right, gentlemen, I apologize. It's been a few days since I've published an episode here. And to be honest, my back has been bothering me. I've been having some trouble even just moving about the house, let alone doing much of anything else. Unfortunately, that's what happens as you grow older. All the use and abuse over the years starts to catch up with you. So I've been dealing with that, just been trying to do a little pain management until it kind of eased up, and feeling much better today. So I think I'm beyond the worst of it. But we got a weekend coming up. I hope you got some plans going on. Hope you're going to get together with your friends, your family, your loved ones. You know, do something special. But be safe out there. Whatever you're doing, be safe. This is going to be the Are They Avoiding You Part 2. And I'm not going to read through the article like I did beforehand. I got the bullet points. And I'm just going to go through them off the top of my head. We did I think 1 through 4, I believe. We're going to do, we'll do 4, 5, 6, and 7. So you had, now I'm trying to think what the bullet points were. I done lost my spot. Let's do, Mama's Boy. All right. Are they avoiding you? Are you a mama's boy? Yeah, that's not going to work, okay? Yeah. Are you a mama's boy? The reason for that is there's nothing wrong with loving your mama and being a mama's boy to a certain point. You know, aren't we all, right? But you don't, as an older adult, you don't want your mother influencing your life or making decisions for you, or especially if you're in a relationship or a long-term relationship, or even if you're married, you don't want your mother having influence over that relationship. You know, that's an independent, ain't got nothing to do with her thing, right? And that's why females will avoid you if they have any sense that your mother controls you, or, you know, that you're easily influenced by your mother, you know, because they're the ones that want to have all the influence over you, right? You know, they want to be able, to tell you and talk to you and influence you, persuade you, convince you, to bend, to their whim, or, what they want or what they like or what have you. You know, they don't want an outside interference and, mucking that all up for them. All right. Nothing wrong with loving your mom and like I said, being a mama's boy up to a certain point. You know, if your mom calls and needs something, yeah, you go and do whatever you got to do to help your mom. Because that's your mother, She was wiping your butt and changing your diapers, when you couldn't do all that kind of stuff yourself. She was taking care of you when you could. So, we all owe our parents, a debt of gratitude for that. But, once you become an adult, it's like the good book says, once you become an adult, you leave and separate from your parents and you cleave, to your wife if you're married, and that's what you're supposed to do. There shouldn't be, and you as a man you should be autonomous. You shouldn't have any outside influence over your life. You ought to be able to do what you want, when you want, how you want, make your own decisions, and, even if you're in a relationship, casual, long-term, or even married, you are the head, you are the man, because you're going to be responsible for everything should everything turn to shit. So you might as well, have the authority to make all the damn decisions. Now, I'm not saying you don't consult your wife, you don't consult your girlfriend, you don't have a discussion, you don't talk about what things are, but ultimately, you should have the final say. And I believe that, that you shouldn't be bending your knee to her whim or her will. I'll just do it, happy wife, happy life. No. That doesn't work. You will ultimately be miserable. Ultimately, you will be miserable. Because then she's running you. You don't, it's like, the guys call up, hey man, we're going to Las Vegas this weekend. We want you to go with us. Well, I gotta ask my wife. Or, not even something like that. Hey, we're just going to go out and go to, we're going to go to, the chicken wing place and get some wings and drink some beer and watch the game. Well, hold on. I gotta ask the wife. You'd be like, yeah, okay, what time we're leaving? Then you go tell the wife, because you know whether you have plans or not. It's not like she's going to come up last minute and tell you something. She done told, if you got plans, she done told you ahead of time. So she shouldn't have any problem with it. If she has a problem with you going out and hanging out with your buddies, and I'm not saying you going out every weekend and clubbing and doing all this other kind of dumb stuff. I'm talking about occasionally, if you're hanging out with your friends, you shouldn't have a problem with that, You just going to go watch a football game or what have you, eat some wings and drink some beers. That's fine. That ain't like, see, females don't do that. They ain't going to have a meal and when females get together, they going out. They gonna get dressed to the nines and do their hair and do their makeup and go out and do it in a different way. See, that's why I say if you got a female, she's hanging out with her friends, you need to look out. Need to be wary of that. Where's she going? Who's she going with? How long they staying? And if none of that's your business, she gonna know everything about you. Females are like the FBI; they know everything, and they gonna find out everything. They gonna do all the research and find out. So, don't be the mama's boy. Be a man. Make your own decisions. Be strong. On the other hand, don't be an egomaniac. Right? Don't be talking about yourself and it's all about you all the time and you have to have the final say all the time. You're always talking. You don't care about what she says, or if you are, you're just listening to get her spin on it so then you can have a response. You don't want that either. You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be that guy. We're talking about women here. We're talking about people. They have thoughts and feelings and everything else just like we do, and you want to give them the respect they deserve. I don't want you to ever think that this channel is about disrespecting women, because it's not. I'm just trying to uplift men, not disrespect anybody. That's not what we're doing here. Yeah, do we talk about females? Yes. Do we, talk about, some negative aspects? Yes, but I don't want to disparage anybody, regardless. So you don't want to be the egomaniac just talking about yourself all the time, having to have the final say, having to be in control all the time. That's, the control freak is another one. I'm going to kind of mix these two because, egomaniac, control, you don't want to be the control freak either. You don't want to, you have to have control. You can only control yourself, gentlemen. You can't control other people. Everybody's an autonomous human being. Everybody's an individual. They have their own thoughts, their own experiences, their own influences. Everybody's different. And you can't control what other people do. As much as you can influence people, you can try to encourage people, you can try to persuade people, but you can't control. You can't be a control freak. Some women will be attracted, because, they think, oh, he's got his stuff together and, he's like always in control. But, once they get around you and they find out, you got to know where they're at and what they're doing and who they're doing it with, 24/7, you got to have some kind of trust there. Because if you can't trust the female that you're with, if you can't trust her, then you don't need to be with her. Well, even if it's just a casual relationship, serious, especially if it's a serious relationship or if you're married, if you can't trust her, you don't need to be with her, period. At all. Just hang it up. Because it ain't going to change. It ain't like, she can build up your trust. You need to be able to trust her. In the beginning, yeah, you have to, cultivate that. But once you reach a certain point, you ought to kind of know, okay, yeah, I can trust this person. And that doesn't mean tell her all your secrets. That doesn't mean divulge stuff that she don't need to know. Kind of trust. It means, is she not going to lie to you? Is she not going to cheat on you? Is she not going to make you look stupid? Those are kind of the three things I kind of key in on. Don't make me, don't lie, don't cheat, and don't make me look foolish in front of other people. Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass yourself, which will embarrass me because, if you're with me, don't do that. Show some respect. Those are some things that you want to do. And the Peter Pan thing. Grow up. Grow up. Don't be, with me, or I say me, we as men don't need as much as females do. They got to have nice stuff. They got to have nice clothes. They got to have furniture. They got to have crap on the walls. They got to have decorations. They got to have all those things in the house, decorate to build the nest. Men don't need that. We could have a TV set, with your Netflix or your cable and DVD player if you got one, and your game system or whatever it is that you're doing. I personally don't play video games, but I know a lot of grown men do. And that's fine. You got your nice big TV, you got your little entertainment center set up there, and you could have a milk crate to sit on and you wouldn't care, and a mattress on the floor and you'd be fine with it, We don't need all the fancy stuff. We got a refrigerator and a microwave and a sink and a toilet, we're probably pretty good. Maybe a shower, just go in there and take a shower. We don't need a lot of stuff. It don't have to be fancy. Females are a little different. They got to have things. And that's fine too. But you don't want to, you don't want a woman to think that you're, just perpetually a child, Excuse me. God, drink some water here. You know, excuse me, that's kind of the worst thing that could happen is a woman look at you as if you're a child, if you're childish, and she's going to have to be the one that's going to have to take care of you somehow. Or if she gets in trouble, she can't depend on you to help her. You know, you, again, male, strong, masculine. She's going to look for you in times of trouble, in times of need. And I'm not telling you you have to open up your heart and your wallet and do everything. But that's what's going to happen. If you're, you know, in a relationship, long-term relationship, serious relationship, especially if you're married, she's going to look for you for that strength. She's going to look for you to fulfill that manly role. You know, regardless of how else she talks any other time, you know, when the shit hits the fan, she's gonna fall back on you to do the manly man things. You know, even around the house, she's going to want you to kill the spider and kill the bug and, you know, get rid of any other kind of pests or anything like that. And, you know, she's going to want, you know, even if she don't necessarily want you to be the most masculine man in the world, she's still going to have you do some manly stuff. So you don't want her to look at you as a child. You should not act like a child. You're a man. You should be a man. You know, you shouldn't, or again, these are all my opinions now, so you don't want to present yourself in that way. You know, if you want to attract females, if you want to attract, you know, dignity and respect towards yourself, you act like a grown person. You behave like a grown person. You know, and you know, because females would just be disgusted with that childish behavior. You know, because they've already raised children. You know what I'm saying? You know, they might have children. You know, especially if you're older and you're my age, they've already got grown children that may or may not have children, you know, by this point. And the last thing they want to do is run into, you know, a grown-ass man that behaves like a child. That's the last thing they want to run into. You know, they don't want to raise another child, you know. You know, so those are things that they will look at and say, you know, I want to avoid. So that'll make up your 7 things. Part 1, and this being part 2, make up your 7 things, you know, that women are looking to avoid. And you don't want to be any of those things, you know. And I can understand that, you know. I mean, some of those things are valid, absolutely. And we as men, you know, should be men, you know. But again, you don't have to bend your knee to their will, to their wants and desires, because you are a man. You should be able to control and dictate what goes on in your life. You have the power of decision, and you can decide for yourself what goes on, what you'll tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what you'll put up with, what you won't put up with. That's all up to you. That's why I say, you know, it's not even what happens to you, it's how you react to it. That's mostly, you know, how our life is made up. There's a lot of things out of our control that we can't control. We can't make other people do what we want to. And that's how we get disappointed, because we expect other people to behave the way we would want them to behave. We expect that out of them, almost. You know? And then when they don't, then we get disappointed. That's, you know, where a lot of disappointment comes from. You know, we expect others to do as we would do. But once you give that up and you realize, you know, everybody's different, everybody's going to do their own thing. And once you kind of let go of those expectations, then people don't disappoint you quite as much. You know, they still may do some things, you know, oh, I didn't think they would do that. And that's fine. But you can't think that other people are going to act and behave and make the same decisions that you would in those same circumstances, because they're not. Especially females, because they're wired completely completely different. That's why, men, that's what's wrong with this world, because they're trying to turn men into women and women into men, and it's not going to work. We're wired different. It's not going to work. They're going to try it. They do this world is trying to turn everything upside down, and it's going to backfire. It's not going to end well. So, gentlemen, that's about all I got right now. I thank you for your time and your patience. Check out the social media sites, the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the Gab, and the locals. I post, photos and articles and videos, and I post up, some of the podcasts, so you can get a little bite of it, before you actually get here and listen to it if you want. If you'd like to support the channel, use the link and do that. You can do it, I think, for as little as 99 cents a month. Take care of yourself, gentlemen. It's going to get a little worse before it gets any better, but hang on. We're all going to get through this together. We're going to come out the other side, and it's going to be all right. All right, hang tough and be everything you can be as a man. Be the man you're always meant to be. I appreciate you. I have been James Rodney Lemax, and you have been great. This will be a weekly podcast. You can find it on the Anchor app and anywhere podcasts are available. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. I look forward to seeing you there.